Mike's Daily Podcast.
Mike, Daddy wasn't even singing. What was that all about? You saw the crescent. I saw the whole of the moon. Oh, wait, no, flip that around. I saw the crescent. You saw the whole of the moon. That's a song from the Water Boys. Good old Mike something. Mike Watts? Hey, it's Mike Matthews. Hi.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1228. 1228. Wow, this show is a whiz bang.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Fascinating things. I'll have a segment we haven't done in a long time. It's with someone who is a friend of mine. It's DAYLEY HAYLEY. It will be here shortly, and then you will look in the mirror and go, I'm getting kind of portly because of that whole Thanksgiving thing. Everybody's running these days. Have you noticed? Everyone's
Mike's Daily Podcast.
On the weekend, everyone I saw was taking up jogging, which I don't like because it's bad for your knees.
Daily.
But what I wanted to say
Podcast
is I also have a segment called Matthew's News. We need to get to some news. Some bad things are happening in the South, where I lived for 2 years. I think everyone should live there from California should live there for 2 years because you get really sheltered in California, my friends. You Californians that never left California to live anywhere for a while, you have no idea. You really don't. And plus your skin will appreciate it. My skin is so dried and crackly right now, there's absolutely no moisture in the air, which made for the most beautiful sunset last night. I was with Basil the boxer over at Fairmont Ridge, as per usual, but I was with my new friends. Nick and his lovely wife and their dogs, Bella and Dixie, met me there, and we went for a walk with our dogs. It was so much fun. But it was the most beautiful sun. I took so many pictures. That's not part of the podcast picture, though, today. We'll get to that in a moment. One thing I did not appreciate in Alabama was walking into a Subway sandwiches place that was in a gas station that was near my work. And I thought, I'll go there and get a sandwich. Oh, look who just walked in. And I walked in to get the sandwich, and it stunk. I cannot tell you how bad a smell the mixture of Subway sandwiches and cigarettes is. Not a good combination. But they allowed you to smoke inside there in Alabama. I think they were just starting to outlaw that as I was about to leave. I think that's how I state something with confidence, is by going, I think. Why is Jonah Hill in another damn movie? Why did they try and put him in a movie that's action based? I don't get it. Somehow he became some kind of action star. Are you a big Jonah Hill fan? Email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com, and maybe you'll win this contest.
Mike's Yuletide Personalized MP3 for Thee contest.
Oh, and on today's show we find out what a Yule is. No, that's a mule. Look who else just walked in. Wow, a bunch of people walked in, and I have not acknowledged them because I'm so full of myself. Hi, man. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. What am I doing here? I was here on yesterday's show. How y'all doing? Great, Benita. Yeah, you were on yesterday's show, but you didn't say anything. I know. I had so much to say. I don't understand why everybody's getting so mad at Hillary Clinton for helping Jill Stein. I don't know. It's like people get scared when women come together to create a powerful force. I know. It's almost like third wave feminism. We talk about that on today's show. So much. We should really get to the show, as one Greg Proops would say. No, but someone else walked in too. Hello, Michael Master. It's Madame Rootabega. Yes, two women together. Fighting the world. Benita the Rodeo Queen and I. Yeah, Mike, we're having a great time. We gotta go change the world. Bow, bow. See? That's the thing, is you have to come together right now over me. And wait, that's kind of I never quite understood that statement. That song. I love that song, but it was a great song. And then Aerosmith covered it, and try and find the Michael Jackson version. They recorded it. He did it in concert, and they recorded it. Got a really good recording. It's a freaking trip. Okay, it sounds exactly like the original, except you got Michael Jackson singing. Whatever. Cafe whatever. No, wait. This is called Cafe Anyway. Anyway. What? Oh, the other people that walked in.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And it's Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we ain't ever gonna vote for Chris Christie or any Republicans or any Democrats. From now on, it's all third party.
That's right, Mackie. It's all third party. Do you know that? Holy crap, you guys are... I don't know what you're saying. Your voices are changing. Your characters are changing. You're really completely stretching your characters. You're growing as characters, I should be saying.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, Mike, thanks. Do you know that? What I was going to say is the podcast picture today has to do with Christmas trees. Yes, I'm in a Christmas tree type of theme mood lately. And there's an upside down Christmas tree in San Francisco. I kid you not. And I could have used the bad word there. I could have said I shit you not, but I didn't. And it is because there's a upside down Christmas tree in the mall that they have there near Powell. I forgot the name of it. You get to it, it's near the Powell BART station. And if you go up to the top where there's that dome, they usually in years past had a little Christmas show that they projected onto the dome. It was very cool. But this year they're not doing that. They just have this magnificent, huge upside down Christmas tree coming down from the ceiling, and you can actually go right to the underneath of it and like practically touch it. And then there's all these other trees, Christmas trees around there, and Santa. It's pretty cool. Check it out. See the picture at mikesdailypodcast.com. You can also help us out too. You know, I don't mind telling you that I don't make any money doing this show, and maybe I shouldn't. Maybe this is not something that has any value. But I would like to say that if you'd like to support the show and you're going to do any shopping on Amazon anyway, then why don't you just click on mikesdailypodcast.com, click on that Amazon logo, and then start your Amazon shopping, and that helps us out if you do that. Simple little thing. There's also the PayPal if you'd like to help us out that way. You'll get a special greeting from all the Cafe Anyway characters. Oh, that Yuletide personalized MP3 for the contest thing, too. Email me. Tell me what you love or hate about this show at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. If we read your comment or not so comment on this show, you will get a special Yuletide personalized MP3 for thee from all the Cafe Anyway characters in our segment we call...
Oh my God!
Email for email and your calm and not so calm mess.
Go there to do that now. mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. But mikesdailypodcast.com is also where you can listen to past interviews that I've done with a myriad of interesting indie bands, and I've even interviewed some country stars, and I've interviewed everybody that ever lived. That may or may not be true right now, what I'm saying. That could be fiction. But what isn't fiction is this, and sadly, this is the news. It's Matthew's news.
Matthew's news.
I lived in the South for 2 years. One of the places I was married at that time. Oh, by the way, I told you on the last show how my ex-wife is getting married. and that she had to get a copy of the divorce, so the divorce finalized paper, the final form, and that was submitted to the court. Well, and that was confirmed and validated, and now everything is okay with us being divorced and the government. It may not be okay with God. I might be going to hell because I got divorced. Well, actually, I haven't remarried yet. That's when I commit the sin, right? Because then you're living in adultery. Whatever. Cafe, whatever. I mean, anyway. Cafe, anyway. But when we lived in the South, yeah. So she was able to she was able to get a copy of it and then get it notarized. So everything's fine. My ex-wife now can get married this weekend. Good for her. And she's going to the South to get married. She's going to Louisiana. But we used to live, because that's where her husband-to-be is from. I like to say husband-to-be instead of financier. I mean, fiance. But severe storms hit Alabama and Tennessee overnight. And it's crazy because Tennessee is also where the big fires have been going on. One of the things I regret not doing when I lived in Alabama when I was married was we were told, you need to go to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It's beautiful. You rent a cabin. You can stay overnight, and it's beautiful up there. Oh, and you're near Dollywood. And I think I had somehow used my position working at a radio station to try and get tickets to Dollywood. Didn't get to go to Dollywood, didn't get to go to Gatlinburg. It was 5 hours away from where we lived, and we just didn't feel like driving. My job was tough. It was like a 20-hour-a-day job. It was ridiculous. It was in radio. I was the boss. I was on the air, and I was also promotions. I was also doing all the imaging and all the stuff for I did everything for this station, except for sell ad time, which I would have gotten a commission for doing that. And I didn't do that. I should have just did everything and then died. But so we never got to go to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, but this fire has hit there. The Tennessee tourist mecca emerged from the smoke, charred and vacant after a swift-moving wildfire at the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Many buildings were burned to their foundations. Hotel fire alarms echoed through empty streets lined with burned-out cars. This is according to the Associated Press. The fire picked its spots as it tore through the Gatlinburg area. This was on Monday, and it destroyed at least 150 buildings but left others intact. 3 people were killed, and more than a dozen were hospitalized. By last night, almost nothing remained of the castle, perhaps the largest and most iconic home overlooking Gatlinburg. Entire churches disappeared. So did Cupid's Chapel of Love wedding venue, though its managers promised to move scheduled weddings to a sister chapel. The chapel at the park. Officials surveying early damage said the Westgate Smoky Mountain Resort and Spa, with more than 100 buildings, is likely entirely gone. And Dollywood survived. Now, this is what boggles my mind, is the winds were hurricane force that swept through there. And when you got fire and wind together, as we know, in California, you've got problems, my friend. The flames reached the doorstep of Dollywood, the theme park in nearby Pigeon Forge, Dolly Parton's place. The park was spared any significant damage, thankfully. They're the most visited national park. Much remains uncertain for a region that serves as the gateway into the Great Smoky Mountains. Search and rescue efforts continue through the night in areas that had been unreachable because of downed power lines and trees. And there was also some nature preserve or animal preserve that was being threatened. So bad times there in Gatlinburg. And then also in Tennessee was some severe storms, and in Alabama, kind of close to where I used to live, in the northeastern part of Alabama, actually east of where I lived, near Huntsville, Alabama, but this was east of that. Severe storms killed 5 people, overnight. A tornado killed at least 3 people when it slammed into northeastern Alabama early this morning. 2 people were later confirmed dead in Tennessee. 3 other people also critically injured in Alabama after a daycare center was completely destroyed. Officials initially described it as a 24-hour daycare, but later confirmed it was not open when the storm hit, thankfully. At least 25 homes and 6 poultry operations were destroyed across DeKalb County in Alabama. And that is what's going on in the South. Now back over here to the West, to Podcastro Valleymont. We are happy once again to bring you the Daily Haley.
The Daily Haley. The almost Daily Haley.
We haven't done a Daily Haley in a long time.
Why are you speaking so quietly?
It's Daily Haley. I'm trying to shut the damn door. Shut the front door. How are you, Daily Haley? We haven't had you on in Daily in a long time.
Decent.
You know, all the listeners that we got when you were on the show all the time, they're gone.
You mean my girlfriend?
So this is a new batch of listeners listening now.
You mean me?
Including Sylvia, who I keep calling Sophia. They're similar names, aren't they? You had no smart-ass remark for that. Why?
Because you pulled the mic away.
Don't pull away, Mike. Why are you pulling away?
Hang on, Mike. Mike, hang on.
That's you're trying. You're trying to sing Sloopy.
Yeah.
You know. Well, so Haley is barely even 20. Or okay, you're a little over 20, right? And you know all these songs from like 40 years ago. It's crazy.
50 years ago.
50 years.
50 years now.
Damn.
65. 66 is 50 years ago. Revolver came out 50 years ago by the Beatles.
Great album. Who did the artwork on that album cover?
I don't know.
I do. It was Dick Clark.
She said, I know what it's like to be dead. I know what it is to be sued by Apple Media.
I didn't. By the way, that was.
Well, it's record.
Dick Clark didn't do the art.
Right.
Okay. Did you see that thing on YouTube about how Paul McCartney really is dead, and they have proof that he died back when supposedly it said he died on that album, and that there's some kind of imposter that got in his. Did you watch that?
Yeah, that was 1966 when he got in the car accident and died.
What? Explain.
He got in a car accident and died. And they,
Then who's this guy that recorded Ebony and Ivory?
He is the replacement to Paul McCartney that they brought.
No more lonely nights, never be another.
Somebody's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Somebody's knocking at the door.
Band on the run.
Band on the run!
Oh, God. Wow. That was marvelous.
I just wanted to make sure that we had a good amount of clipping somewhere in this recording.
Maybe I'm amazed by the way that you love me all the time.
Maybe I'm amazed at the way I love you.
You used to say, live and let live. You know you did, you know you did, you know you did. All right, Haley.
We're so sorry,
Oh, wow.
Uncle Albert.
Very good. All right, well, that was a great Paul McCartney tangent. So, I guess my question to you is, what's a Yule?
A Yule is not a thing unless it's a Yule log, which is a log that you burn in your fireplace during Yule. Yule is, I believe, specifically, it's a celebration of like the winter solstice time, but it is a holiday that predates Christmas, and most of the Christmas traditions as we know them come from Yule because Christian religion didn't actually have any dates for anything, so they just ripped them from the hands of the pagans. But it's a pagan religion predating Christmas.
I feel as if I can relate to the Christians because they stole ideas from pagans, and I steal ideas from pagans all the time because pagans know how to party. Like this shirt.
Steal my ideas.
Pagans like have women with hairy armpits, and I have hairy armpits.
No, you're thinking of third wave feminism. You're thinking of Riot Girl.
Wait, what? Please explain third wave. The listeners getting a bunch of knowledge dropped on their head right now. Just a door opened and it just came out of the attic. All this knowledge. What is third wave feminism?
It's like third wave ska, but with less ska and more feminism.
So is this a 90s thing?
I think it came around. It was the Bikini Kill L7 type of Riot Girl band was rooted in third wave. It was the most
in my naked eyes I said it all. Luscious Jackson. Belly. Veruca Salt,
which is they're still making music. They came out with one last year. Yeah, those all kind of got rooted in the third wave feminism. It's basically the angriest feminism wave we've seen. It was good. It was a lot of sexual liberation.
Nipple clamps.
Yeah, probably more than the other waves of feminism. It's the one where I don't know if you've heard of like people dyeing their armpit hair like bright pink.
Oh wow!
That comes from third wave feminism. I liked the movement. Some people say it went too far, and in a way it did because it was a very white-focused feminism. So there was a lot of trying to liberate women in other cultures that wanted to liberate themselves in another way, which is an issue that has been raised within feminism and all that. But, yeah, it was a very angry, very loud version of feminism.
Do you think Jill Stein was part of that movement?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Ooh, I hope she wins Wisconsin then. So, no?
I don't think she will, first off, and I don't really like her.
I want to thank you for listening to my podcast and then correcting me on stuff because I was misinformed.
I do it all the time. You just get random texts from me. You're probably asleep, but you missed a liner here.
Haley's real name is Fact Checker. Fact Checker McGee. Thank you.
My initials are HFCT. Haley Fact Checkered the Semi.
Real quick story. So, back in the 90s, actually, no.
Back in the 90s, I was on a famous TV show.
What song is that?
That's the song they use in the credits for BoJack Horseman, and it is by...
Oh, I still have to watch that on Netflix.
Tame Impala, maybe?
Tame Impala, no kidding.
I don't remember. I'm probably wrong.
I know of Tame Impala. I downloaded some of their stuff, and I don't know their song, so I'm a poser. So to wrap up, I was just going to tell you real quick that back in the 90s there was in 99, no wait, I met her New Year's Eve 1999, so right on that millennium deal, and then we kind of dated for like a month in 2000, and she had the hairy armpits, and she showed me pictures. She goes, she was like totally celebrated paganism, and she goes, I went on a pagan trip with my pagan friends. Here, let me show you pictures. So this is back when we had film, and she's showing me the pictures, and like oh, that's interesting. Then all of a sudden there's a picture of her topless. Yeah. I'm like, what's this? She goes, oh yeah, we danced naked in the moonlight. I'm like, oh, so that was an interesting experience.
Yeah, I guess a lot of pagans do that. A lot of pagans don't. I worked with my supervisor once at work when I worked at Target was paganism, and we discussed it quite a bit.
No kidding, in Target? And they have to wear clothes there.
They do have to wear clothes. She always wore clothes.
Verona. Or is it Morona? What's the brand they have there?
They have Verona. They have Massimo.
Massimo!
Yeah, we discussed it quite a bit. She interesting person because married, had a family. They all at least lightly celebrated it, but she grew up Mormon,
Oh,
And
wow.
She was like, this doesn't work. And so she found paganism.
And she's in the Bay Area. So what a cool life.
Yeah, very cool person.
Well, thanks for being on the show. I hope this all recorded because it was good stuff. We'll put it on the next show if all goes well. And if you have any comments for Haley, please email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. That will also get you into the drawing for the Yuletide personalized MP3 for thee contest, which now we know what Yule means. Yay! Any shout outs, any song selections you'd like to suggest the listener listen to?
No, I just question for you. Favorite Christmas album?
Oh, God. Bare Naked Ladies, the one they did like 4 years ago. It is so funny. I love Stephen Page singing Old Lang Syne, even though that's not a Christmas song. That's after.
Holiday.
He's the one that sang. He sings the chorus on "It's been 2 days that you worked to be bad man angry."
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, so I like that one. What's yours?
I think my favorite one is definitely the Peanuts soundtrack.
Yes, with Guy Gerardi.
Vince Guaraldi?
Vince Guaraldi, yeah.
Guy Fieri?
Guy Fieri, and then Guy something did the Old Lang Syne originally.
But the Old Lang Syne wasn't on that album.
No, but I had the two cross the Vince Guaraldi.
But it is a family tradition that, like, as a family, our favorite album is the Carpenter's Christmas Portrait.
Oh, yeah. That's big.
Without a doubt. Like, every year, like, the holiday season starts with just, "It came upon a midnight clear," all in harmony and whatnot. It's a beautiful album.
Merry Christmas, babe.
Merry Christmas,
darling. And we'll have that take us out. Thank you, Haley. Thank you so much. Let me hear it stop. Thank you, Haley. All right, as we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. A little mix of news, a little bit mix of history, a little mix of culture on today's show. We had some women coming together to start a new world, to shape our world and make it new. Enliven it. Enliven it with sayings like, "Gobble till you wobble." Did you hear that saying a lot this year? I heard that a lot. I had never heard it before, and then this Thanksgiving. Gobble till you wobble? What the heck does that even mean? Are you supposed to, like, gobble like a chicken or a turkey and then walk around and wobble? Does it mean eating a bunch of turkey until you wobble? That's what that's the first image that popped into my mind, but it's strange. I like it, though. Next show is going to be the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!